Hello, everybody, and welcome to Uproot Reddit. Forming bonds, especially within your family, is one of the most precious things ever. Even bonds that were never formed, like what Reddit user xSavageXSaviorX experienced, can bring peace. But when a chaotic storm, such as, an entitled mother, comes into the mix, it could only mean one thing. Lots of window bashing. Sounds violent, but take it from xSavageXSaviorX in their Reddit post, entitled mom bashes dad's window in over me not coming home. So, a bit of background. This story happened when I was about 14 or 15. Me and my dad had recently met and started to bond. My grandparents had custody of me and allowed me to go to my dad's house literally anytime I wanted to so that I could have a real parent in my life. My mother wasn't happy about this because, she's my mom. She wasn't happy with any positive relationship I had with anyone, especially if I wasn't jumping through hoops to make her happy. So during this time, my grandparents planned a vacation to Las Vegas. They gave me full permission to go stay at my dad's house for 2 weeks, and they hired a sitter for my younger siblings in their home. So here's the cast of characters, quote, me equals, me. Dad is dad. Entitled mom is my crazy mom. SS equals stepsister. SM equals stepmom. And BS equals baby sister. So it starts off as any regular day at my dad's house. Me and my stepsister get up, do some chores around the house, play fight with a wet wash rag after washing dishes, the normal teenage life. My stepmom wakes up and makes breakfast while we play with my baby sister. My dad is sleeping because it happens to be a weekend and he doesn't work weekends unless he gets called in. Well, if I didn't have such a cruddy cell service, I would have been able to warn all of them of the storm approaching. But I had no service at my dad's house, so I didn't receive any of the calls from entitled mom or my grandparents. And randomly, we hear a truck pull up in the front yard. It's entitled mom's black truck. Is that your mom? I guess so. I'm gonna go wake your dad up. A few minutes later, my dad is at the front door and he's talking to entitled mom. Tell my daughter to pack her stuff and come on. No, we have permission for her to stay here while her grandparents are in Vegas. She's not going anywhere unless she wants to. My stepmother is whispering to me now. Do you want to go with your mom? It's okay if you do. We won't be angry with you. Nah, I'd really like to stay, if that's okay. I really wanted to spend more time with you guys, so when school starts, I can stay here more on school days. That's perfectly fine with us. We're always happy to have you here. As long as you want to be here, we won't let anything happen to you. By this time, you can hear my entitled mom going off. She's my daughter. I will call the police if you don't bring her out here right now. Okay, I'll go talk to her. Stay here. Slams the door in her face. Something tells me she deserved that. Do you want to go back with your mom? She said she'd like to stay here. We talked while we were handling her. You don't have to go anywhere. Do you want to tell her yourself that you want to stay? Can you do it, please? I don't really want her to yell at me. She has a way of making me feel bad every time I try to talk to her. Of course. Maybe it's best if everyone goes to the back rooms. We all start moving towards the back of the house. All we can hear is screaming now. Where is that freaking brat? Come out here right now. Calls me by my middle name. You aren't staying here. Get off my property. If you don't leave, I'm calling the police. My stepmom and my stepsister hide me in the closet and give me a baseball bat. You can't keep her from me. She's my daughter. She has to come with me. All we hear after this is the sound of glass being smashed. something sounding like metal against metal, and then her truck driving off. Eventually, we all go outside to see all of the cars have their windows smashed in, and the paint and sides are scraped up pretty bad. My dad, bless him, didn't call the cops. Not sure why. He did call my grandparents though, and they explained they had tried to contact me to give me a heads up that entitled mom would be on her way over. Apparently, when they told her they gave me permission to stay with my dad while they were on vacation, she lost her mind. Everything was fine after that. We laughed it off and pretty much told stories of how crazy entitled mom has been, even before I was born. My dad said he wouldn't talk badly of her because he didn't believe in that, but said this was the second time she smashed his windows in his truck in, and told me that he doesn't hold any resentment towards her now, but she made his life heck after I was born. The stories my stepmom told me were pretty funny too. My entitled mom was so crazy she didn't let them anywhere near me, so they'd have to get in contact with my aunts to find out when and where my sports tournaments were or my concerts. Then they showed me videos of my games and concerts to show me that they had always been there for me, even if I didn't know they existed. My entitled mom had told me at a young age that my dad died, so I had no idea I even had a dad until I was in middle school. Besides my entitled mom going crazy, it was a really nice day. I've always been grateful for them. My dad passed away a few months after I turned 18, so he's been dead for a few years. I've never forgiven my entitled mom for the time I missed out on with him. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed, and as usual, not word for word, but just what I got from memory. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you, a mother filled with rage is one that may not need just the police to escort her out. Maybe an entire security squad? I don't know. Oh, speaking of escort and family, have you ever worked at a job that your family owns and had to fill in for 2 employees at the same time? No? Just ready user Highland Silky? Well, let's just say things turned sour quickly when one of the employees' parents steps in and makes the situation 10 times worse. In today's post, entitled parent can't handle his daughter being scolded at work. This happened almost 10 years ago, more or less, so details may be a little off, but you'll get the gist of it. The only warning is that English ain't my main language, but no mobile or weird format, I hope. A little bit of background, when I was in college, I used to help my dad on his business when I had my school breaks, or when one of his employees would have their vacations. My dad would give one employee at a time 15 days any time of the year, plus 15 days during Christmas and New Year as collective vacations for everyone. One of his employees was due to have her vacation, and therefore I shadowed her for almost a week to learn the basics of what she did so I could cover for her for the next 15 days. It was pretty easy to cover for her and still do my own work at the office, no problem. At least it should be easy. You see, this employee who was taking a vacation, I'll call her Alice, was the best friend forever of another employee, whom I'll call her Tia. And they were pretty close. Nothing against it, my dad had several employees who know me since I was a child, and they're all pretty close too. It was never a problem. At least before Alice and Tia, of course. When Alice took her vacation, Tia started missing work at the same time. And it wasn't like just a day or two. The whole 15 days that Alice took her leave, Tia missed work. So I wasn't just doing my job and Alice's job. Now I had to do Tia's job too. My dad wasn't happy. Neither I or the other employee that worked with us at the office. But he didn't call her or anything because, according to him, she was a big girl. She was a little older than me and, mid-20s, I think, if anything. And should know her responsibilities. He wasn't her father to tell her what to do, but we all knew she wasn't coming because Alice wasn't here for the next 15 days. They're that close. Okay, we worked our butts off during that 1.5 week when Alice comes back, and ta-da! Next day, Tia is also back at work, like nothing ever happened. The same day, my dad didn't even have the grace to ask us politely to leave the office so he could talk to Tia about her behavior. He tore her a new one right then and there. This is what I remember. And what I heard before leaving the office with everyone to take a walk around the company while he was having his little chat. Oh, glad to have you with us again, Tia. I've been an employer for many years, and I had many employees over the years. Some good, some bad. But never, ever in all those years I had such a childish behavior towards my office. What made you think it was okay to miss work while Alice was on her leave? If you don't like to work for me, you should say so instead of wasting my time and money because you clearly do not care about this office or your colleagues. And he said more and more stuff that I didn't catch. One thing you guys may want to know is that my dad ain't the type of boss that doesn't appreciate his employees. They all win chocolate eggs during Easter, really nice panettones during Christmas. Heck, my dad even pays a masseuse to rub their backs every 2 weeks. So it really bothers him when this appreciation goes unnoticed or worse. After 5-10-ish minutes, we go back to the office and Tia is nowhere to be seen. Dad said she went to cry in the bathroom. I wish I could say I was sorry for her, but we busted our butts while she decided to miss work just because her best friend forever wasn't coming. We go back to work as normal. Tia's still in the bathroom when our office phone rings. Mariah, the other employee, picked up and told it was for my dad. Cue entitled parent. This is just what my dad told us as soon as he hung out. So I took the liberty to transcribe more or less what the conversation was about. Who the heck do you think you are to talk to my daughter like that? Excuse me? Who's calling? I'm Tia's father and you had no right to talk to her like that. You gotta be kidding me, right? You're telling me that if she was your employee and acted like a spoiled child like she did with me, it was okay? Doesn't give you the right to humiliate her like that. Look, I'm sorry if you failed as a parent to give that girl some education or teach her about responsibilities, but that ain't happening in my office. If she's so unhappy, she can leave. Honestly, it's going to be a favor if she does that. Now, if you have nothing better to say or do, I have an office to take care of. Don't call again, and have a good day. Things got pretty awkward with her every time my dad was around. He had 2 companies at the time, so he wasn't there all the time or even every day. And Tia actually quit after 1 or 2 months. Sorry if this ain't your "my precious angel should have this and you gonna give it to him/her or I'll call the police" type of story, but I don't know many entitled parents, which is good. Seriously, you can't just get hired to a family's business, expect handouts when you clearly did not put 1 ounce of work in. Handling rejection at the job is just part of life. But you know who cannot take no for an answer? Reddit user username.x knows someone who thinks that no means yes, and yes means double yes. Especially in today's post, entitled mom can't take no as an answer. I know this isn't as bad as the other posts, but it annoyed me. So this happened a while ago when I was like maybe around 5 or 7. So a little backstory, we were friends with these people for a while, mainly because we were both Polish, and they had 2 kids. One was like 3 at the time, and the other was like 12. So here's a cast of characters, quote. Me is, well, me. ED is entitled dad, who didn't do much but still spoiled his daughter. EM is entitled mom. M is my mom. EK is entitled kid. And then there's my brother. From the things I remember, we would go to their house and my brother and I would have nothing to do, so we either brought our own electronics, or book, or watched entitled kid there play video games. The entitled parents always let their entitled kid get whatever she wanted. and she was awfully obnoxious. I'm pretty sure I even heard Dad say he would buy whatever entitled kid wanted. I don't really remember much of what we did, but my mom told me of one incident that happened. So one day, Entitled Kid and Entitled Mom came over, and Mom, being the good hostess she was, turned on a little kid show for Entitled Kid. But while watching Peppa Pig, Entitled Kid wanted to eat. So Entitled Mom sat on our new couch and was about to give Entitled Kid some milk when Mom stopped her. Mom was explaining how Entitled Mom couldn't feed Entitled Kid on our new couch, but Entitled Mom insisted that it was okay and that Entitled Kid wanted to watch. After arguing, Entitled Mom got up and walked out of our house, and we stopped talking to them ever since. Mom also told me that when Entitled Mom and her family went to a different friend's house, Entitled Kid drew on their furniture, and Entitled Mom, along with Entitled Dad, knew it was happening and didn't stop her. Apparently, the friend's parents also knew she was drawing on their furniture, but didn't want to have the same thing happen to them that happened to us. Now that's how you teach your kids to destroy private property. But anyways, no matter if your bonds of family are strong or your friendships are strong, always cherish the bonds that you form today. You never know when you will need that person to stand up for you, or when that person needs you to stand up for them. Unfortunately, that's all for today. We'll be back for more family time stories right here on Uproot Reddit. Remember to strengthen your bonds today, no matter with whom it may be. We'll see you next time, everyone.